got ADHD, you can't tell me. Some kids got no. You're just lazy and don't want to do your job. And you never taught that child discipline. And you won't turn off the TV and take the cell phone and take the Xbox and the laptop and football practice and make his ass read. That's the problem. You're trifling. That's the problem. Sometimes it ain't the white man, it's your ass. Sometimes. See, it's one thing to talk about white folk, but what about Negroism? Good old-fashioned Negroism. Well, what do you suggest I do? He's struggling. Get him a tutor. Get him a tutor. Well, Sylvan costs. You don't have to sit him to Sylvan. Sylvan's a ripoff. Everybody knows that. All these retired teachers we got, go get one of them to work with your child a few hours. We got all kind of elders looking for something to do. They retired now. Send them to them. We got college students looking for a couple of dollars. Send them to them. What's $50 a week to help your child? Can't find a college student, can't get a retired elder? Go find a high school kid who's well in that academic subject. Let them come to the house and sit at the kitchen table and work with your child 2 hours a week for a couple of dollars. Well, I shouldn't have to do that because the school gets money. You're right, they do get money, but understand something when you're dealing with the school system. You get what you pay for. If it were me, I would never let the school provide no tutoring for my child. Well, why not, Dr. Johnson? They get Title I money. I'm going to tell you why. Because they will use the tutoring to strengthen their argument that your child needs special ed. Let me tell you what they do. They will give your child tutoring for a marking period. The marking period is they bring you back in for me. And they say, well, listen, we've been working with him all through this marking period 2 times every afternoon, and he hasn't made any progress. Now, they're lying to you. And one of the biggest problems I have with schools is the same teachers who miseducated the child from 8 to 3. The same teachers that miseducated the child from 8 to 3 will be given the extra money to teach them how to read from 3 to 5. Now, you explain that to me. It is a conflict of interest to have the same teacher who miseducated provide the remedial instruction. But that's what they do. And they say, well, who knows him better? Well, that's the problem. I don't want the tutor to know my child. I want them not to know my child. Because if they think they know my child, then their mind is already made up. And they're not going to do what they're supposed to do to make sure this baby learns. It's not hard to teach our children. The problem is half the folks in education aren't there for the right reasons. They thought they wanted to be teachers, but when they got into it, they realized they couldn't deal with today's child. They didn't like it no more, but because it was the only thing they was trained in, they deal with it because after all, you get the summers off and a nice retirement package. Let me say it again. Schools in Akron are economic stimulus packages to white folks from the suburbs. It's a way to keep the bills paid and not even be responsible. I'm not talking about our white visitors in here. Don't get me twisted. There's exceptions to every rule. But you do not throw the rule out for the exception. The learning disability. Are you serious? My son got dyslexia. My daughter got a math disability. My grandson got a reading problem. No, they're lazy as hell. That's what their problem is. Your children are lazy as hell. I'm going to tell you to your face. They trifling. I bring them in my office. They don't even want to be there. Listen, young man, if you don't do your best on this test, they will use it to classify and marginalize you. You don't care. His mom won't buy him the new Jordans anyway. You don't care. Yeah. I get what I want anyway. This is nothing. Letting the children run the house. You want to be a friend first and a parent second. You better remix that. Listen, you are going to spend the time necessary raising those kids, whether you like it or not.
Right.
You're going to do it now while they're children, or you will have to raise them again as adults when they're in jail. Make up your mind. But you want to put that time in. See, what we do is we like to take breaks from parenting. And we normally take the break between the 12th birthday and the 17th. From 12 to 17, we let the streets race him. And then by the time he's 17 and 18, he done went so far left. You say, oh my God, the streets is taking my son. And then you try to yank him back, but it ain't working. And so now you got to put your hands on your child every time you talk to him because you let the streets raise him for 5 years. And then he goes to jail, and now you got to spend twice as much money in adulthood as you spend in childhood. Because now you got to raise money for lawyers now. Now you got to sit up in that waiting room at the jail 3 and 4 hours for a 45-minute visit now. You got to buy t-shirts and drawers and socks for commissary, long-distance telephone calls. Because you took a break from your child. The Bible said it best, raise a child in the way they should go, and when they grow, they'll have a part. But you don't raise them, you let Shine do it. You don't raise them, LeBron does it on TV. You don't raise it, Weezy and Jay-Z and 50 Cent raises the children. If it was up to me, there would be no televisions in the house.
Right!
No cable. Now you might keep a screen for when you watch educational DVDs and movies, that's all right. But in terms of cable, we don't need it. Tell me one thing positive they're learning about cable. Your daughters are sitting around watching Basketball Wives. Sitting around watching Scandal. Sitting around watching How to Commit Murder and Get Away with It. Sitting around. And she's being taught, what does Basketball Wives teach your daughter? What does Scandal teach your daughter? What does How to Commit Murder and Get Away with It teach your daughter? What do all the reality shows about black women teach our princesses?
Disrespect.
One simple thing. Nobody wants y'all. Y'all desperate as hell. And you will sleep with anybody for attention. Number one show for black women in America is Scandal. Kerry Washington, Olivia Pope. Everywhere you go, and for the life of me, I'm saying to myself, what is it about this that is so amusing to my sisters? Because nothing is new about that. A black woman sleeping with the president of the United States who's already married, being the bedwench to a white man. I thought we'd been there and done that with Thomas Jefferson. I thought we'd been there and done that with George Washington. I thought we'd been there and done that with Abraham Lincoln. I thought we'd been there and done that with Alexander Hamilton. That wasn't enough. You want to see it in the modern flesh.
Have mercy on us.
Let me explain something to you. There's nothing non-political about television. Every show has a political message. The TV's job is to condition the population into the beliefs that the society and the government wants them to have. Let's go back in history. Before Adolf Hitler began the extermination of European Jews, he first had a what? Propaganda campaign against them on the radio and the newspaper and the television, decasting the image of European Jews. He had to desensitize the German people to the death of European Jews. So once he started killing them in real life, nobody would object. When the Germans controlled the British, when the British had the Chinese study warfare, there's always a propaganda campaign in the media to desensitize the population to the extermination to come. Scandal ain't on TV just to be there. Basketball wives ain't on TV just to be there.
Programming.
These shoot 'em up ghetto flicks that BET keeps showing us, they not there just to be there. America's watching these shows. And they're saying, if this ain't true about black people, then why are they always so eager to participate in the extermination of their own public image? If it ain't true, why do they do it? I was at the movies last week because I travel a lot and I'm a movie man and I don't get a chance to go to the movies, so I had a week off, so I went and I saw No Good Deed. And then 2 days later, I went to go see Addicted. And what is going on in these two movies? In one movie, No Good Deed, a black man is going crazy over a white woman. Only to go to the end of the movie to find out that his white woman was cheating on him with a black man who was cheating on his wife. Then I said, well, let me go see Addicted. Maybe this got something a little bit more affirming to the African psyche. So I go watch this filth. And it's the exact same plot. Now it's the black woman this time, cheating on a good black man with a white man. My God. You don't see the message here? Have you noticed most of the commercials now, you barely see a black man with a black woman anymore? And then 2 weeks ago, everybody sent me a text about Raven Simone. She was on one confused black woman being interviewed by another confused black woman. I love her. Don't tell her I said it because I need to check for my school fundraiser. Hallelujah. And Raven Simone on international TV tells Oprah that I'm not African American, I'm an American. She said, I don't know where my ancestors come from in Africa, but I do know that I have roots in Louisiana. This is the new black. Disidentifying from your race is the new black. Some of y'all caught up in this. I'm not black, I'm just a person. I'm a human being. Go ask the cop who shot our brother Michael Brown first whether he saw a human being. Go ask George Zimmerman when he shot down Trayvon. Did he just see another person? We keep on using these maladaptive strategies to deal with racism. First, we used to change our name. That was the first strategy. Well, calling ourselves African isn't going to work. This is what we did in slavery. So then we started calling ourselves Anglo-Africans. That didn't work. So then we was Black Americans. Then Negro came. Then color came. Black came back in the 60s and 70s. Remix! And then Jesse Jackson stood up in the meeting in 1980, and him along with other members of the bourgeoisie said, ourselves